What's up, everybody? Welcome back to Viewpoint Abroad. I'm John. Today, we're going to be talking about the current situation in China with the lockdowns and also some other things that's happening right now in China. So if you want to stay up to date with what's going on in China right now, stay tuned, watch to the end. I'm going to share some important information with you guys. So, first of all, for those of you who don't know, like I mentioned, my name is John. I'm an expat who's been in China for over 12 years now. For the whole time and up until now, I'm living in the most southern part of mainland China. I live right next to Hong Kong and Macau. And so down here where I'm at, as far as the COVID things go, it's not so strict, and it hasn't been for a long time. Situation is different in some other places though. So first of all, like when COVID first started about 2 years ago down here, we had some well, I wouldn't call it lockdowns, but I guess you could call it lockdown. But anyway, when it first started about 2 years ago, all the businesses closed, right? Like shopping malls closed, restaurants closed, gyms closed, everything closed, right? I was a bar owner. I had a bar. My bar was closed. I wasn't even allowed to open the door, right? The only place that was open was supermarket and like pharmacy, like a drugstore. Everything else closed. And that was for like 9 months or so. And I think that they were still experimenting or trying to come up with ways to, to implement regulations and things like that. And so they eventually did, which, they had this mask thing where you have to wear the mask. And they also did like this health code that you show on your phone that everybody could sign up for and show and things like that. So after they implemented those things, everything slowly started to open back up. Regulations were still strict, but things were opened up, right? You could actually go out places, and places were open that you could go to. So like we weren't locked in our homes or nothing. Like I went out every single day. Actually, I went to my bar every day, and I did work there in my bar, just like in an office. But I wasn't allowed to open the door and let customers in. So I was allowed to leave. Right? I wasn't locked down. Just to make that clear. But now things are much different now. They've been different for like the past year and a half or so. Right now I can go outside anywhere I want. I don't need to wear a mask. Nobody else wears a mask. Like I can go out, walk around the street. I can go to, restaurants to eat. I can go to 7-Eleven. I went to the cinema last week and watched a movie. Didn't wear a mask. Nobody wore a mask, right? And so you can go outside and see that. There's like none of that is going on down here right now. Now, the only thing to that is like if you go to a shopping mall or you go to a supermarket, then yes, you still need to wear a mask when you go to those places, right? There's usually someone at the door, like a security at the door, and like they'll check your temperature, they'll check your health code on your phone, and you have to have a mask in order to enter the shopping mall or the supermarket. Other places, it's kind of like nobody really cares. Actually, I went to the supermarket this morning and I didn't have to show my health code or nothing like that, take my temperature, didn't do none of that stuff, but I did have a mask on, which everybody else did as well. But they wasn't even asking for health codes anymore. So things are a little, less strict here where I'm at right now. Now, as far as the schools go, children are in school. Now, in the schools, they do have to take COVID tests. My school has been doing it once every 2 weeks. So actually, if somebody comes to school, like an agency hospital, they come to our school and they test every student and every teacher one time every other week. And which at school, the kids don't wear masks. The teachers don't wear masks. It's not mandatory to wear a mask, or it's not mandatory to be vaccinated, right? But that's here. It's totally different in Shanghai. Shanghai is way different. Now, I'm sure you've seen the news about Shanghai, and I have lots of friends who are living in Shanghai and who are experiencing these very strict lockdowns. Now, when I say strict, it's very strict. Like they're actually locked in their house. They can't even go outside. Like they can literally like open the door and stick their trash outside and close the door. Like that's it. They can't do nothing else. And so they can't order delivery food. They can't go out to the supermarket. They were not able to do anything. I have a friend there, a really good friend there, and he's married to a Chinese lady, and they have 2 kids. So they have 4 people in a 3-bedroom house. They can't go to the supermarket, they can't order delivery, they can't do nothing. The only thing they can do is, eat whatever the government decides to give them. Now, he sent me a picture the other day, what they received for the week. It was 2 cans of Spam, about 6 potatoes, a dozen eggs, and like 2 heads of broccoli, and a couple bottled waters. And that's what they were giving to last for the whole week for a family of 4. So you can imagine how tough it would be, to get by on like a potato a day or half a potato a day or something like that, right? And when you have kids and all this other stuff. So luckily I'm not in that situation, but a lot of people are, and a lot of people have it even worse than that. So, the current situation up there is not very good, but according to the rumors, they should be opening up soon. I was told by my friend, he was told that they might get to go out on about June the 5th or June the 6th, something like that. So they might be actually allowed to go out then. So hopefully everything's good and they can actually do that. Hope so. With that being said, there's some other things that have been going on in China recently as well that's not being talked about all that much, and I'd like to share that with you guys. So first thing is, well, I'll tell you this first. Since COVID has started, about 80% of expats in China have left, and they're expecting another 50% of what's left right now. They expect 50% of those to leave as well. So the current population of expats in China is dwindling down really fast. Now, I know some of you are thinking, well, that's a good thing because now we can come over there and get a job and earn more money. Not so much the case. Just recently, within the past year or so, they've really cracked down, especially on education. And so, education is kind of like the biggest sector for expats. Like 95% of expats in China are working in education. So that means they're working as teachers. And so China has cracked down on education. Like most of the language centers have been shut down. The online teaching has been shut down. All the foreign textbooks, gone, they're banned. Schools aren't allowed to use textbooks like from America or England or anywhere, like that. They're all banned in China now. You can't even go to a bookstore and buy it. They're blocked. They're not allowed in the country. And then when it comes to these big schools, like big American and British universities and Canadian universities, they all have these ties with Chinese schools. They've all cut ties and have left the country due to the ban on the foreign education materials, right? So all these places have left. And so right now, when it comes to international education, international schools, it doesn't really exist, right? Like most of the international teachers who are working in the international schools have left. The international students who are studying in international schools have left because there's no more international curriculums, right? It's all being removed. And so it's not much left now. Now they do have some like bilingual stuff going on, which means like most things are in Chinese, and then they might have like an English teacher who will teach English like one time per week or something like that, right? But it's most of the foreign education and foreign educational materials are banned and blocked, which means if you're a foreigner and you're interested in working in China in the education industry, it's highly unlikely you're going to be able to do it, or be able to do it for very long anyway. Maybe a year if you're lucky, and then you'll be probably forced to leave anyway. I believe that's coming very soon, unless things change. Which this is China, things change fast, right? They can change, but as of right now, I think it's only going to continue to get worse as far as working as an educator in China goes. So. That being said, there are other jobs for foreigners, such as like stuff like engineers, like software engineers and IT, and it's also businesses. Like if you're a business person and you're going to like do a business and employ Chinese people, then those options are still available. But if you're like in education, you're gonna struggle to get work, right? Like I know but you see like schools are asking, you know, people to come to China, come here to work, come here and work. But, you know, we've been trying to find teachers and we can't find them because nobody can get in. They can't even get into the country because they're not allowed in the country because they don't meet the requirements. So it's really, really difficult now, right, to get in China and to work in education. Even the ones that are here who are qualified, a lot of schools won't even hire them simply because like some schools aren't in great locations, and so the people won't go there, and people can't even go anywhere. Some people are just stuck where they're at due to lockdowns. They can't get outside of where they are. So it's not much going on, not much available. And even when things open up, I believe it's going to be really difficult. So that being said, what are most people doing? From what I've heard and what I've seen and my friends and things like that, most have actually went back to their home country. Now, a few have moved on to other places. I have some friends who went to Japan, a couple who went to Korea, well, South Korea, and I hear a lot of chatter about people going to Vietnam and Thailand as well, but I don't personally know anybody who went to those places. But those are the places I'm considering actually. I'm actually considering going to Vietnam or Thailand myself, and I'm still doing the research on that, so I haven't decided yet. But as of right now, like I have a work contract. You know, my contract is good until July of 2023, so I still have a year and a couple months to figure it out, unless things change really fast and I'm forced to leave. But for now, I'm good for another year and a couple months, and at that time, that's probably when I'll, you know, pack up and go on and move somewhere else in another country, because I don't want to be forced out. I'd rather just finish up my time and then just move on myself, right? So that's my plan, but I haven't decided exactly where I'm going to go yet. I'm still researching that. So if you guys have experience living or working in Vietnam or Thailand, let me know in the comments below. I'd definitely be interested to hear about that, or to hear from you and to learn more about it, because I'm trying to figure out where I'm going to go next. So anyway, that's the current situation in China right now. Here in southern China, it's not all that bad as far as you know, the regulations and things go. As far as getting a job goes, it could be a little tough for you if you're trying to find a job in China and you're not already working in China. Like if you're unemployed right now, if you're in China right now and you're unemployed, you're going to have a tough time. That's just the fact. If you're not already employed, you're going to have a tough time. And if you're outside of China, wanting to come into China to get a job, you're really, really going to struggle. It's going to be very difficult for you. I would consider moving on, going somewhere else. So anyways, that's it for today, guys. I hope the information was informative. I hope it was helpful. And hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, come back for more. And also, by the way, I got some vlogging stuff the other day, some vlogging equipment. So hopefully I can get outside and make some videos for you guys. I'll walk around and show you guys around a little bit. And hopefully we can make some good videos outside. So coming soon. See you guys on the next one. Take care.